Hey everyone, I'm Brenton, and welcome to Brenton's Question of the Week. Questions that collectors think about but don't always ask. Last week's question was, how do you choose what to add to your collection? Here are some of the responses from the community. Vane21 said, for some collectors, not all, scale can be a factor as well. Now that I'm going primarily 1/3, most other stuff doesn't get considered because I have to stay focused and want to maintain a certain level of continuity in my display. Luke said, good question. I started collecting only 1/4 scale Marvel, but bought a lot of big pieces. Now, running out of room, so need smaller footprints. Also, trying not to mix X-Men with Spider-Man too much, so slowing down with X-Men and more focus on Spider-Man characters. Space and money are the collector's common enemies, so need to stick to favorite characters like you said. Matt said, for display purposes, I now collect mostly 1/4 scale. At this point, I have become very selective and don't really look to add to my collection, but I'll pick up something that I really like, and it won't matter if it's Marvel, DC, movie, or anime. If it talks to me, I want it. Then I consider price/affordability. Lastly, space and how I will display it. Mark Buke said, I base my decision off hype and how many likes I can get. I love impressing random dudes. Seriously though, first things first, it has to wow me. So let's just say it's a given I love the item right off the bat. Then to narrow it down, I base it off affordability. If it's overpriced in my eyes, then it doesn't matter how much or how cool it is. We all have our own internal barometer for pricing, I believe. Secondly, is it in the scope of what I'm currently collecting and my preferred scale? Lastly, is the physical size. Can I get it in my collection comfortably? Thank you all for the great responses. Now, this week, I've been thinking about, is it okay to cancel a PO? And I say yes. And there's a lot of reasons I say yes. So, within this time from PO to actually having an item in hand, it's usually a long wait time. So, we're looking at 1, 2 years, maybe even more. And within that time, we may have a change in direction of collecting. So maybe our character focus changes. Like Luke said, maybe you started off X-Men and then you started going more Spider-Man. So you want to cancel off those X-Men pieces you no longer want. And another example is maybe scale change. So you collected 1/4 scale and then you were jumping to 1/3 and you still have 1/4 scale pieces on pre-order and you don't want those anymore. It's perfectly okay to cancel those. And then sometimes, frankly, you just don't want the item anymore. It's been a long time, you thought about it for a while, and your feelings on what it was have changed. And then lastly, maybe just life stuff happens. We can't always predict that. And if we have our money tied up in POs, sometimes we need to cancel things to take care of things that happen in life. Now, thank you everyone for watching. Please feel free to answer in the comments and come back next week to hear what other collectors had to say and for another hard-hitting